42 states have officially declared a housing emergency. Home prices are at record highs, rent is devouring paychecks, and millions of Americans are struggling to find affordable places to live. Whether you're trying to buy your first home, keep up with skyrocketing rent, or invest in real estate, this crisis is affecting you. But here's where things get even bigger. Donald Trump has a plan. With the 2024 election heating up, Trump is pushing a series of housing reforms that he claims will fix the crisis. Will his policies provide relief, or will they make things worse? In this video, we'll break down how we got here, what Trump's plan includes, and what it means for home buyers, renters, and investors like you. By the end, you'll have a clear picture of what's coming next and how to prepare. Let's get into it. To truly understand this situation, let's first examine exactly how the housing crisis developed. The American dream of home ownership is slipping further out of reach. Home prices have surged over 40% since 2020, and mortgage rates have doubled in just 2 years. Meanwhile, renters are feeling the squeeze. The national median rent has jumped over 20%, with some cities seeing increases of 50% or more. So, how did we get here? The housing emergency is fueled by 3 major factors. First, there is a severe housing shortage. The U.S. simply doesn't have enough homes. Decades of underbuilding, strict zoning laws, and rising construction costs have created a deficit of over 5 million homes. Supply can't keep up with demand, and that's pushing prices sky high. Second, rising interest rates play a big role. To fight inflation, the Federal Reserve has aggressively raised interest rates, making mortgages much more expensive. The average 30-year fixed mortgage rate now sits above 7%, more than double what it was in 2021. This translates into higher monthly payments, pricing out many would-be buyers. Third, corporate investors are buying up homes. Hedge funds and private equity firms are purchasing single-family homes at record levels. In some cities, investors make up 1/3 of all buyers. They're turning homes into rentals, limiting supply and keeping prices artificially high. With home ownership becoming more unattainable, millions of Americans are stuck renting indefinitely, struggling to save for down payments while costs keep climbing. For lower-income families, the situation is even worse. Evictions are rising, homelessness is increasing, and affordable housing options are disappearing. This is why 42 states have declared a housing emergency. Leaders are under pressure to act fast. With policymakers under immense pressure, let's now look at the plans Donald Trump has proposed to tackle this crisis. With the housing crisis reaching emergency levels, all eyes are on Donald Trump's plan to fix it. The former president has unveiled a series of housing policies that he claims will increase supply, lower costs, and make home ownership more accessible. But will they work? Let's break it down. At the heart of Trump's initiative is Executive Order 14,154, aimed at tackling the housing shortage head-on. First, he wants to fast-track housing development by cutting red tape and eliminating lengthy zoning restrictions. His administration is also pushing for federal land to be repurposed for housing, making more space available for affordable development. Next, there is the goal of lowering construction costs. A proposed rollback of certain building regulations and environmental restrictions could make it cheaper to build new homes. And Trump has hinted at tax incentives for developers who build affordable housing units. Reforming mortgage policies is another key pillar. Plans include loosening lending restrictions, making it easier for first-time buyers to qualify for mortgages, and possibly bringing back low down payment mortgage programs to help middle-class families buy homes. Finally, Trump has criticized Wall Street's role in the housing market and is proposing higher taxes on institutional investors who buy up single-family homes. The aim is to incentivize selling homes back to individual buyers instead of rental companies. However, these proposals raise many questions, which we will explore by looking at the main controversies and reactions. Trump's housing plan has sparked intense debate. While supporters see it as a bold move to make home ownership more affordable, critics warn it could backfire. One major controversy is Trump's proposal to cut funding for fair housing enforcement. His administration has previously attempted to weaken regulations that prevent housing discrimination, arguing that fewer restrictions would speed up development. However, opponents say this could lead to more discrimination in lending and renting, making it harder for minorities and lower-income families to secure secure housing. Another hot topic is tariffs on construction materials. Trump has proposed reinstating tariffs on foreign lumber, steel, and aluminum, claiming it will protect American jobs. But builders warn this would drive up construction costs, making homes even more expensive. The National Association of Home Builders has strongly opposed these tariffs, calling them a disaster for affordability. Then there's the plan to tax corporate landlords and investors. While this could discourage hedge funds from buying up homes, some economists warn it could also lead to higher rents as investors pass costs onto tenants. Public reaction has been mixed. Home buyers and renters are desperate for relief, but many fear these policies might make things worse. Some states are even considering blocking parts of Trump's plan to prevent unintended consequences. Since many states are unwilling to wait, they are taking their own measures. Let's see what's happening at the regional level. While the federal government debates Trump's housing plan, states are taking matters into their own hands. With 42 states officially declaring a housing emergency, many governors are pushing local solutions to address the crisis. Some states have adopted aggressive housing development policies. California now allows multifamily housing on single-family lots, aiming to boost supply in high-demand areas. New York is investing billions into affordable housing projects. And Texas has cut zoning restrictions to fast-track new developments. On the other hand, several states are introducing rent control and tenant protections. Oregon and Minnesota cap how much landlords can raise rent each year, and Colorado has passed laws making it harder for landlords to evict tenants without cause. Florida, however, has rejected rent control, arguing that it discourages new housing investment. Despite these efforts, not all solutions work as intended. Some developers are hesitant to build in states with strict regulations, worried about profit margins. In states without rent control, tenants continue to struggle with soaring prices. The question remains whether federal and state governments can collaborate effectively, and more importantly, how this all affects individual Americans. To get a clearer picture of how this impacts you as a renter, buyer, or investor, let's now delve into the practical implications. So, with 42 states in crisis and Trump pushing for major reforms, what does all of this actually mean for you? Whether you're a renter, a first-time home buyer, or a real estate investor. For renters, rent prices may remain high as demand outstrips supply, especially in major cities. If Trump's plan to tax corporate landlords passes, some rental properties may hit the market, creating potential opportunities for renters to become buyers. In states with rent control laws, tenants might see more stability, but landlords could respond by tightening tenant screening or reducing the number of units available. For home buyers, if Trump's plan to loosen mortgage restrictions is enacted, it might be easier to qualify for a home loan, but this could also push prices higher by increasing overall demand. Mortgage rates remain a major hurdle, and unless the Federal Reserve cuts rates, affordability issues will persist. In states that allow more multi-family construction, new types of affordable options might emerge. For real estate investors, more regulation on corporate investors could reduce competition from Wall Street, potentially making it easier for smaller investors to purchase properties. However, tariffs on construction materials could hike building costs, squeezing profits. Changes at both the federal and state levels might greatly impact investment strategies, so staying informed is crucial. Finally, the conclusion summarizes the key points and highlights what we might expect going forward. The U.S. housing crisis has reached a tipping point. 42 states have declared an emergency, and millions are struggling to afford homes. Trump's plan offers bold solutions, but it's also highly controversial. Some policies could help boost homeownership, while others may drive prices even higher. Whether you're renting, buying, or investing, the housing market is changing fast. Staying informed is the key to making smart financial decisions. What do you think? Will Trump's plan fix the crisis or make it worse? Comment below and like and subscribe to not miss our next video.